And welcome to another day of TA the Degen way. Well, I just wanted to hop on and take a look at the Bitcoin price and talk about whether or not we should still be thinking about this as being bullish. Here we're looking at the daily futures chart, and this seems to be a little bit more cleaner, and does have a semi-bullish consolidation pattern. It wouldn't surprise me to see this break out to the upside, but you can see that our balance point is pretty much right at our all-time high, which is what we're kind of stuck on. And if we take this range here and we expand it by 1.5 to the upside, gives us a target around 85,000. Another thing we can look at is we can take our Gann box and we can pull this range here, and if we just match our 618 level there, you can see that that's given us about right dead smack in the middle for our first target of about 82,835. Snap a line right there. It's kind of dead smack right in the middle of the golden zone there. Drag that up. And what I'm measuring here is I'm measuring from swing low to swing high, and now we're going to say that that's half the move. So what we looked at first would be if this high right here was 38.2 or 61.8% of the entire move. So this would be the remainder. This is looking at 50%, and we can match that last level there with that high, giving us another one at about 95,000. So these are all just areas of interest that we can look at. If we were to take the flagpole on this, this was quite the run up there. I don't think we're going to see anything like that. Maybe this lower pole, could take from the low, is also matching up with our Gann box. We take it from the breakout point, and that gets us up around 100,000. There's all kinds of things a person can look at. Whether or not any of it actually means anything is a different question. But what I do find is that the reason that TA works on past price action is because, not because you could have really used it to get the right answer, it's because price was equally proportional to itself in some ways. So when you do technical analysis on it, in the future, it just kind of matches up, and it's a lot more obvious than what happens in real time. But we can take some of the same principles and expand some of that stuff out some more locally. If we get in here, if we pop down in the hourly, you can see we're in this consolidation wedge there, and right at dead center, got a rejection, pull back. I think this is like a 21 or it's a 50 EMA. Pull back, and I am looking to come up to the top of this wedge and just keep consolidating along, and hopefully at some point breaking out to the upside. And I probably would not trade this breakout this way or this way. Rather, maybe taking short positions on the top side, long positions on the bottom side, and instead of trading the breakout, maybe let it break out and pull back and retest that thing and take a rejection on the retest. Or if it breaks to the upside, hopefully you get a pullback and load up a little heavier on that pullback, rather than trade this breakout at a major, massive macro high, and you get one of these and start shooting down. So what if we lose this wedge here? Let's turn our background down. If we lose this wedge, if we just start taking some local levels, we've got that low right there, that high, we can do the same thing in reverse that we do going up. You know, this is price discovery, so we're taking one range and just expanding it by 1.5 to the upside, assuming that it's probably going to double, and it'll go halfway into the range above, pull back and retest, and head on up towards the top. So if we look at well, I mean, that's kind of a good sign there. You can see that local 50% was pretty much hit, and then now we're consolidating. I mean, for now, that's bullish. You know, you can see our trend matches our bullish consolidation pattern. You know, it's almost so perfect that, you know, you might just see one of these guys. And then if we start looking at, if we do get a serious breakdown here, just delete a bunch of stuff here. We do see a more serious breakdown. Now, how do we keep track of this trend? You know, personally, I, you know, think you should be trading the trend. Let's look at some breakdown levels real quick here. Let's go to the daily. I mean, you should be trading like a daily trend, you know, and we'll talk about that in just a second. I mean, you can see some obvious levels here right off the bat. Now, I mean, I would consider these to be pivot highs. We'll grab our horizontal ray, and let's just do this. Let's just grab high-low bars. Makes it a lot easier. So there's a pivot high. There is a pivot high right there. Pivot low. You can really see our consolidation pattern here. You know, it's curving upward and kind of curving downward. Just mark out those pivot highs and pivot lows on the daily. You know, so I mean, if you were trading the trend considering pivots, you know, these would be the levels that if the trend is upward, you would not want to come below this pivot, and you would expect it to be coming above this pivot. You know, that's not exactly the way that I trade trends, but I just wanted to look at some levels to the downside. So I mean, here you can see, I mean, we got some high quality areas right there. Here's another pivot low right there. Well, you can see a nice grid there of levels coming on down, and then we can grab a retrace tool here. Come down to this major pivot low there. I'm going to reverse this so that these levels are going down, and I'm only looking at this golden zone. I'm interested in the 50% retrace area. You know, just like up here, we retraced, you know, above 50%. I mean, it's bullish. To consolidate, I mean, not just a bounce here, but to, you know, actually consolidate above, you know, come down, test that 50%, consolidate above it. That's a bullish continuation pattern. It doesn't mean that's what's going to happen, but it sure can. So here you can see our golden zone again. It's coming out very nicely. Matched up right with these daily, well, they're not even daily, they're just, you know, high time frame pivots, you know, these pivots there. So if we were to trade this daily trend, I mean, the way that I trade trends is I'm looking for not so much the pivots, but from bar to bar or candle to candle. So to me, this right here is an uptrend. Why? It is higher highs and higher lows. You know, then you get a pullback. This is an uptrend. Then we got, you know, this is still an uptrend all the way through here until we get up here to these spinners. Well, why? I mean, think about it. If we start right here, each candle has a higher high and a higher low than the one before it. Higher high, higher low. Higher high, higher low. To show it a little better, I made a little indicator. Let's see here. See if we can find it. Well, oh, the daily trend +1 ATR. So what this is showing us here, let's go down to a smaller time frame, is it's showing us the daily highs and the daily lows, this band here. So these red lines is the daily highs and the daily lows, and the blue is just one deviation beyond it. We can ignore that. What I want to point out is, notice how this daily low is higher, it's higher, it's higher. You can see how it's stair-stepping upward all the way up to the point where it violates it. You know, this is I like to use this for quickly finding charts that are trending on the daily. You know, where the daily is making a higher high and a higher low, you know, each day from bar to bar on the daily. So if we go back to the daily, I mean, that's what we were looking at there. We'll get rid of our indicator, but you can see it real quickly on the smaller time frames just using that indicator. If you want to use that, you're more than welcome to. You can always come on into our free Discord group. There's a link in the description. And I'd be happy to share the script with you. It's nothing more than just plotting out the daily high and the previous day's high and the previous day's low. Because if you're in an uptrend, you know, on the daily time scale, where each bar or each candle is a brand new day, you should have higher highs and higher lows, you know. So when you're trading the next day, you should assume that price is not going to go below the previous day's low, and it is going to go above the previous previous day's high. Higher highs, higher lows. So like like this right here, we are currently in a daily uptrend, you know. And if we just follow the simple idea and principle of the persistence of trends, we can say, okay, well, a daily uptrend is higher highs and higher lows. So why not just come to this chart and mark out our previous day's high. Just mark it right on the chart. Let's go previous daily high. Here we'll change the color from our pivots. Then let's go previous day low. Seems simple enough, huh? We can mark the open also. So let's go previous day low. There we go. Let's see, we opened way up here. And we'll do the daily open. There. We'll change that to something else. There we go. So now we can just come down to our small time frames, and let's say that if we're in a daily uptrend, especially a strong daily uptrend, nice daily uptrend, several days. You know, even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could have did that for 5 days. The 6th day, you still didn't break this daily low. So what you should be looking for when trading a daily trend is you want to buy as low to the previous day low as possible. You know, wait for this to pull back, and however, in the smaller time frames this trend pulls back, and sell beyond the previous day's high. I mean, here we're kind of consolidating in this obvious pattern, so you'd be expecting a continuation right from here, which maybe that happens. But to remain, and trade this trend, we need to stay above this previous day high, and we should expect to be closing above this previous day low. We should expect to be closing or selling above the previous day high before breaking this. Now I think we're going to see some inside bars where we just keep consolidating, getting tighter and tighter until we get a breakout. But You know, I mean, that's what I mean by trading the trend. So, I mean, that's all I got for you on the Bitcoin price. That's what I see. That's how I look at the chart. If you like this kind of TA, you can come on over to our free Discord where I'm talking about what I'm looking at pretty much each and every day. But until then, trade well.